Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are playing the Lodge at Taylor Ranch, the island course. There's two tee layouts, there's white tees and blue tees. And I apologize for the wind noise on the microphone. This is just filmed on my iPhone, or our iPhones. And Justin's GoPro.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the truck.
So 4,900 feet, par 54. I actually, well, let's see what we got to say here.
To the Lodge at Taylor Ranch. The windiest round of disc golf I'm ever going to play. Taking all the flippy stuff out of the bag. Putting the stable stuff in the bag. Let's play some disc golf.
So hole one, par 3, 311 feet. Little disclaimer. The white tees weren't on U-disc yet when we played, so our scorecard we used a blue card just so we would have the map for the white tees. So after editing this video, before doing the commentary, I added the white layout to U-disc. So some of the distances probably will be a little off. The pars very well could be off. I didn't take pictures of the tee signs to get what the pars are for every hole. But it's better than nothing. But little disclaimer there, because I doubt this course is only, or I doubt this layout is only 4,900 feet. So a little trouble off the tee for, I think, all of us. I fluffed mine because I expected the wind to be more of a variable than it was. So I'm just playing for 3. I sailed it a little bit, kind of like Justin just did. The water's pretty far away. It'd taken a especially bad shot to reach it. The water is not far away on this one though. 304 feet, hole 2, downhill, sweet hole, but we had a whipping right to left wind here. So Andy bravely, or foolishly, I don't know. But yeah, look at that wind push that thing to the left. That was his ESP Heat. I think that's an MD3 out of Justin. I'm not positive. I'm throwing a beat-in Z Wasp kind of down the water, and yeah, the wind got on top of the flight plate and just pushed it down. Nice little mound to attack here though. Easy to get it close, and it's not a fast green, which is nice. Yeah, we started with the island course since it's a little easier out of the two. I'll have a Moccasin Creek video coming out in the next week or so. Ooh, that's the downside of being on a mound though, is those rollaways like that. Yeah, while we were fresh, we wanted to start with a course that was more scoreable for all of us. Hole 3, GPS has it at 303 feet. Got a little breakdown here from the tee pad.
Doing a little scouting, figuring out where the basket is. It's like that way. Blue pad's over there playing that way. We're going to play down.
Going with the Lucidex Glimmer Felon, because now we have that same wind is coming from the left, and I needed my disc to work left, which it did pretty nicely. Shout out to Justin, rocking the Mountain Sports shirt. I think he threw FD3, cleared the trees, spiked it into like a little clearing down there at the bottom.
Oh wow! So I stepped off the front of the tee pad here, and
Andy gets a little tangled up. So here's a look. There's the tee pad from the white tees. Throwing over those trees, a little clearing there, and the basket is up to the right. And this is where my tee shot ended up. I thought I was further left and shorter but it turned out that was the right call. Hole 4, 224 feet uphill for the first half, and then it flattens out. Andy gets some nice turn. Don't remember exactly how close to the basket he got. Good sport. He's going to be our catch cam for this hole, since I'm testing out the new MD3, which I've got another video on my channel reviewing that. So yeah, there was Andy's disc, a little short right, and that one ended up a little deep left. So if we combined our throws, we would have aced it. Justin, I believe, is throwing a method or bobcat. I think that's a method. Hole 5, 477 feet. This one should definitely be a par 4. I didn't even really look at par, honestly, when I was adding this to U-Disc, so that's my bad. Luckily, it is editable by anyone. Ripping left to right wind. So I'm throwing my lightweight longhorn here, just hoping that would happen. I just didn't give it enough height to pan out, but I showed the bottom of the disc to the wind just a little bit to get more of a full flight out of it. Justin's throwing a Color Glow Destroyer. Shout out to the Louisville Disc Golf Club in Louisville, Texas. That was one of our club discs this year. Andy, I think he threw a PD3 just for consistency's sake. If you're looking for glow PD3s, let me know. I might have a stack of them. And so everyone's putting for 4 here. Wind is just sailing. I'm walking up to my line. I'm like, yeah, guys, just putt nose down. I'm going to get 03 and take strokes. Nope, wind slammed it down. Nope, wind slammed it down. But I make the no look. Nope, just kidding. Yeah, we were not ready for this wind. Hole 6, 190 feet. That seems pretty accurate. Short little hole, but we have, yeah, to us, a gnarly headwind. You know, North Texas, we have wind, but usually our windy days, the gusts are 25. It's not sustained 25. Justin forehanded a mutant, and I wasn't going to let the wind mess with me, so I threw the tilt, and I'm about 30 feet short.
Just get it.
There's a pretty low ceiling, so I couldn't get the height that really was needed to execute that shot with that disc. I should have thrown a zone or something, but anyways, Andy threw a putter turnover shot and got to about 25 feet. That's where Justin was. I don't know if that would be OB in tournament play, but we played it. Hole 7, 205 feet. Lots of elevation change on this one. This one probably plays like it's like 150. Justin throwing that same mutant again, but backhand. So there's the basket down there. And I was thinking mutant, and then I was thinking bobcat.
Dude, that's money.
And we're still throwing into this wind. So I decided to go with the tilt. Had to throw it really, really, really hard to execute the shot. I probably should have gone with my initial idea. Andy's throwing his bobcat. And 110%, this is the play. Put him closest. But I still made my putt from, I don't know, that could have been 40-ish feet. Taking advantage of being out of the wind here. Justin's psyched. I'm psyched. Andy, however, not so psyched.
So Andy was the closest one to the pin, and he was like, hey, look, we all have a birdie chance, trying to get in everyone's head. And then I made my edge of circle putt, and then Justin made his edge of circle putt for birdie. And what did Andy get? Andy, what'd you get?
3.
I mean, I did say par's never a bad score today, but you just lost strokes.
Hole 8, 295 feet. Forehand or backhand turnover. You want to stay not that far left, but left of that line of trees, working down the right side of the fairway with something that punches through late. So that was a soul out of Andy. I think we had a gentle headwind here, so
Still part of that.
Justin was expecting a little more flip up out of that, and Andy was expecting a little more turn. And my feet my footwork was wrong. I had no choice but to throw it there based on my run up. But I did get no turn, so this is for 3 here. I didn't have much to work with on my scramble. Cool little green though, you got a nice slope to work with. Like if you throw a forehand about 15 feet short of the basket, you got a little hill to put the brakes on for you.
Oh wow, I just.
Oh no!
Yeah, I kind of didn't even.
Hole 9, 206 feet. From this tee pad, it is uphill. The long tee pad's up behind us on that mound. I'm throwing a Buzz SS here, kind of high on a turnover. I think we're throwing into the wind,
Nice.
so that disc. It's not windy on the tee pad really. You can barely see the grass moving, but as soon as the disc gets up in the air, it's in the wind. Not sure what disc that was.
Nice.
Andy's going with his heat. Kind of like me on the last tee pad, his run up just led him right to that conclusion. But yeah, cool hole. Real snaky looking. We didn't see anything. But lots of cool boulders. Kind of picturesque.
So, we just finished the front 9. So far, this course and this property is awesome, even though the wind and playing it blind is kind of killing me. 1 big through 9. We're playing the shorts, by the way. And you might be wondering why. A, it's crazy windy, and we want to have fun, so we don't want to punish ourselves on top of punishing ourselves. And so many people, when they drive 6 hours to play a course, like, well, I drove this far, I'm going to play the longs. But not everyone wants to do that. So, I'm giving you a glimpse of what the white tees look like here at the island course at the Logic Taylor Ranch. Thanks for watching so far.
Hole 10, 489 feet. That seems accurate for the white tee pads. Justin's forehanding Destroyer here.
What a beautiful shot.
Yeah, the wind is just taking control of our discs on some of these shots.
MD3 again. Tailwind.
New Italian MD3. Shout out Discmania. A for the disc and for the super comfortable jerseys they got from Thought Space Athletics. Keeping me cool and dry.
Oh, what the fuckity?
Andy's having a little bit of run-up issues. Yeah, it's not to show his tee shot. Hole 10's green is sweet. You got that little stone backstop. There is a creek there. There was a pond on the left. The creek was dry. This is where Andy is for his 3rd shot. He's throwing his in of MD3. He doesn't have one of the Italian plastic Swedish-made ones yet. He parks it, man. Justin throwing for 2. Him and I both were a little far, honestly, a little pinched off to make that angle. Hole 11, a little shorty. I'm throwing a Crystal Fierce here. got a tailwind too, so I needed to go extra understable. Doing a little song and dance, waiting for Andy to get ready on reaction cam. But here we go. Crystal Fierce. Didn't quite commit enough to it. You'll see a photo in a second. I threw a practice throw. Justin had to go back for a disc, so I threw a practice throw while we were just hanging out waiting. This is a Sphea out of him. It's a good angle. The tailwind just stabled it up quite a bit. This is Andy throwing a Z Soul. He gets enough swing on his disc.
I'll take
I
it.
think he catches that tree too. And this green has a little hill before it, so if you're landing like 15 or 20 feet short, you can scoot up. But if you go deep, there is like a shelf back there. Like this photo here. That's where my tee shot landed on my practice throw. It was hanging on some grass on the edge of that cliff. Well, I call it a cliff, it's short. Hole 12, just over 200 feet. Uphill, you got a low ceiling though. So I'm going to turn over with this 2020 Vanessa Van Dyke and Meteor that I have been really digging. And I didn't get enough turn on it. Threw it with a little too much hyzer.
Keep moving.
Justin's.
Swimming.
I don't know what disc that was.
Really nice. Like that dump truck.
Got the heat out of Andy. Kind of playing the skip with that wide rim disc. Yeah, I hit that little rock outcropping and stayed close, so low ceiling underneath those trees. Just pitching it up for turbo putt 3. Just for fun. Hole 13, 234 feet. Forehand or backhand turnover. I'm throwing that Meteor again. And with that tailwind, it just doesn't want to get the turn. Luckily, I hit those trees and drop. Justin's going mutant forehand. And man, that stables up fast in that wind, but he gets an unbelievable kick and roll.
That's love.
My goodness. And Andy's not trying to force anything. He's throwing kind of right at those trees and just letting the disc do what it's going to do.
So I got super lucky that I caught these trees because I didn't realize this ravine was back here. Yikes.
Hole 14, 160 feet. I think it's closer to 180.
This tee pad.
I think Andy's throwing at Envy. Yeah, throwing one of those James Conrad Envies, the commemorative ones. Going lightweight Eternal Bullet. Get a little too excited. I think Justin's also going Bullet. Better run. And then we couldn't not just throw 4 or 5 discs, try and ace it. Threw Z Luna, overturned it. Then I threw our Electron Heart Envy on hyzer, too high. Then I threw Pilot, too low. Hole 15, 590 feet, par 4.
Where this pretty flippy.
This is actually the blue tee. You can see it on the tee pad there. I wanted to throw it just for fun. I had a stiff tailwind, so I'm throwing a flippy Hades. I meant to hyzer flip it, but I just threw it flat, and it didn't get stable in the tailwind at all, so must have been swirling. So I'm throwing my lightweight Longhorn, like 168. We weren't playing this. We just wanted to throw it for fun. Here's the real hole 15 for us. Just over 300 feet uphill. Kind of an awkward tee pad, but it's not a big rip. This is also the drop zone if you go in the water off the blue tee. That was my instinct. One's getting a little beat in, a little flippy. Couldn't see it skip, but it skipped up to about 15 feet. Justin went S-line CD2. And Andy's, yeah, that's his heat. ESP heat. He's loving that thing. Hole 16, 358 feet. For some reason, no one filmed aiming down the fairway, so this camera angle is all you're going to get. Andy threw it into the trees off the tee. This is a big forehand hyzer or left-hand backhand hole. I should have thrown lefty hyzer, honestly. I don't know why I didn't. Justin's forehanding his destroyer. I'm going to try and throw my instinct. There's a little hole through the trees. I was going to throw something, try and turn it over through that and let the tailwind stable it up. And I was about a foot short of clearing the canopy. So I'm going zone, forehand roller. The wind is scooting it. Probably got lucky to hit that tree. It would have rolled past the basket most likely. Justin's laying it up, take strokes on us. Hole 17. Whoops. Yeah, hole 17. Island. Honestly, the short might be harder. It's such a dialed down. So I'm throwing fan grip like one step with a wasp, and I still almost overthrew it. Justin did overthrow it. It's surprisingly deep on the backside for how skinny that channel is right there. Yeah, Andy laid it up nicely. There's another drop zone. Well played. Kill all that energy in the front hill. I'm putting with a jawbreaker zone, trying to cut through the wind, and I'm lower than the chains, so it automatically was nose up. I should have just laid up. Luckily, I made my putt for a 3. Hole 18, 291 feet. You're throwing over a sliver of the pond here. The basket is straight ahead, kind of on that knoll where the road cuts left up the hill. Yeah, you can see it in the middle of the screen. I am well left of it. We have a left to right wind here, so I thought that new MD3 would get more turn if I showed the bottom of the disc to the wind. I guess I undercommitted. Whatever disc Justin threw, it did it right. And Andy's throwing that ESP heat. Yeah, I still don't know why my MD3 didn't get a bunch of turn. But there you have it. The island course at Taylor Ranch, couldn't recommend it enough. We've even got a little sneak preview of things to do after the round. Alright, here we are. Hole 18's basket for the island course at Taylor Ranch. Here's hole 17's island. Justin throwing practice putts to mess with me. Pond you kind of play around a couple times. There's hole 18's tee pads short and long back there. If you're in the Tulsa area or on your way to Emporia from DFW or something like that, this is well worth the stop. Yeah, we went to Pawhuska based on Avery Jenkins' recommendation. Cool downtown area. Great place to incentivize maybe dragging your wife to play some disc golf with you and then spend some time here afterwards. We went to P-Town Pizza. Went to P-Town Pizza, and it was well worth the wait. Super good pizza. Watching USDGC final round here. It's Paul on 18's tee pad. Got some appetizers. Couldn't recommend it enough. Make sure to check out Taylor Ranch, just outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Thanks for watching.